Hiya Ray, lovely to meet up at the range and continue working on your game. As we discussed, things are coming on nicely going into the season. Massive strides have been made over the past 18 months to 2 years anyway, but particularly this time through the winter period, things have really started to tighten up. We can see here hitting some fairway wood shots towards the back end of your most recent session, and this is much more preferable than what we were seeing at the start of your session. So we take the 0 point from the left shoulder down, and we've now got the ball approximately 2 balls in. This is 7 wood you're playing, couple of balls, maybe a ball and a half in from 0 point, which is producing a slightly descending blow and therefore a slightly outward hit. So previously we tended to, with a fairway wood, get the ball too much in the centre of the stance, hitting down on it excessively, which in turn creates too much of a downward hit, too much of an outward hit, producing a shot cone that's very wide. So by moving that ball nearer to the left shoulder, it enables us to just tighten up the type of shot cone that we're getting. We're getting an angle of attack that is a little bit more level, or a little bit less down, and maybe, like we said on the flight scope, a couple of degrees down in a nice inline condition to give us just a little bit of an in-to-out path. When we did that, the quality of strike improved and also the direction on the shot improved. In regards to the golf swing itself, with the ball being back, the takeaway tends to be a little bit overly wide. We did discuss with the irons that right arm folded incrementally during your takeaway, similar to what we see here, whereas at the start of the session the takeaway tended to be a little bit too low to the ground, a little bit of a false position halfway back where the right arm hadn't folded. See now as you're coming through, no need to slide the hips excessively because you've pushed them forward at setup. Much quieter on the way through, much straighter arms coming through the ball also than we've seen a few weeks ago. So big improvements. The thing to remember is, like we said, ball a little bit further forward and then swing the club a little bit more like you do with your irons, where that right arm folds incrementally. We then started to look at your chipping action, or your pitching action should I say, and we can see here on the top right, trying to hit the ball about 50 yards, maybe 45 yards here. And one of the issues I've got is, first of all, the stance is too wide. That moves the centre of gravity back, makes the takeaway a little bit low and a little bit wide. There isn't a great deal of setting of the wrist there, and the circumference of the swing is just too wide. That's fine when we're hitting full shots and we're transferring the weight across, but when we're hitting the shorter shots with very little movement forward in the downswing, what we're tending to find is the club bottoms out a little bit too soon, and in an attempt to stop that happening, the elbows start to divide and we tend to thin a lot of shots. So we're catching shots heavy and also thinning shots. So what we talked about was tightening up the way the club went back, tightening up, narrowing the circumference of the swing to give us a little bit more downward attack on the golf ball. So we take a little look at what we've done. We've placed the golf bag here, and this in turn has encouraged you to set the wrists a little bit quicker on the way back, creating a little bit less, shall we say, width, so a narrower circumference, much earlier and much more substantial setting of the wrists. Stance still a touch too wide on that one, producing more of a downward attack on the golf ball. You can see there the club bottoming out right at the golf ball. Made some much better sounds on the way through with your chipping and pitching towards the end of your session. So a little bit more setting of the wrists, tightening the circumference, creating a tighter or better control of the low point rather than being wide and non-wristy. We're just swinging the club back with just a little bit more elevation early in the piece. So arms are folding, wrists are hinging. You can see the arms have travelled the same amount, but the club has travelled much further. So keep tightening the circumference up with the wedge shots. Good luck with it, and look forward to working with you again in a week or so's time. Well done.